In the second season of the television program King of Tables, arm wrestling legends John Brenzk and Devon Larratt engaged in an epic battle. This encounter left spectators in amazement and cemented their names in the annals of arm wrestling history thanks to their unrivaled power, technique, and unwavering resolve. So let's investigate more to learn the truth. Does John Brenzk hate Devon Larratt? If so, why? Are they not cordial with each other? Who is more powerful among them? Today, we are going to see how Devon Larratt made John Brenzk, a prominent player, bite the dust through his impressive strategies. Well, in the realm of arm wrestling, their names are synonymous with respect and awe. With a history of triumphs that have cemented his position as a true icon in the sport, John Brenzk, the epitome of strength and precision, stands as an unstoppable force. Devon Larratt, a master of strategy and finesse, is on the other side of the table. His unequaled technique and unyielding resolve have propelled him to the heights of arm wrestling glory. At King of the Table 2 on December 11, 2021, a new chapter began as the tension in the air reached its climax and the loud roar of the crowd filled the smoky arm wrestling arena. Two well-known arm wrestlers, John and Devon, faced off, their massive muscles gleaming with perspiration. For years, John had been the unchallenged champion, winning against anybody who tried to challenge him. His ego was inflated like a hot air balloon as he basked in his glory. Both the wrestlers looked extremely dominant in their appearance, with a will to prove their dominance in the arm wrestling field. It was pretty exciting for the audience to watch their dominant version in the game. Devon looked confident in his approach, but John was no less. Both of them were ready to apply the back pressure and emerge victorious. Did you know that John was praised as the greatest arm wrestler in the history of the sport during the 1998 World Wrist Wrestling Championship? And he was included as the most successful arm wrestler at the time in the 2000 Guinness Book of World Records. Though, let us tell you the reason behind John's hatred towards Devon started when, for the first time in 25 years, Larratt defeated John Brenzk in a super fight in 2008. Following his 6-0 victory against the legendary arm wrestler, Larratt gained notoriety on a global scale and was regarded as the best right-handed arm wrestler in the world. Marcio Barboza and Travis Bagent were also defeated by Larratt in the same year, each by a score of 5-1. Such a defeat was tremendous for John. Coming back to our match in 2021, the audience quieted in expectation as the game was about to start. As he prepared to announce the start of the fight, the referee raised his arm. The two arm wrestlers collided as the referee's hand fell, their muscles tensing and the veins in their forearms bursting with vigor. When the first battle started, the crowd cheered. One half of the arena was occupied by John's supporters, whose unflinching devotion was clear from their cries and cheers. The other side was occupied by Devon's admirers, who pinned their hopes on this new hero. Devon put up a strong barrier, and John struggled against it, his face contorted with effort. He had never previously met such strength. Devon, on the other hand, maintained a composed expression with an intently fixed gaze. The spectators marveled as the two arm wrestlers continued their fight, neither one ready to yield a single inch. Seconds seemed to stretch into hours, but neither John nor Devon were able to prevail. Sensing the growing tension, the referee clenched his whistle hard, ready to step in if required. The spectators' hearts were thumping with eagerness as they held their breath. A sudden jolt of energy rushed through John's body. He struggled to resist Devon's constant pressure as his muscles appeared to swell even more. As Devon progressively overwhelmed John, the audience gasped in shock. As John's arm drew slowly closer to the table, his eyes widened in amazement and bewilderment. It was immediately apparent that they had both gotten stronger once the fight got underway. Their arms were interlocked in a ferocious struggle for domination. The audience held its breath as it saw the demonstration of strength and tenacity. Did you know that the legendary arm wrestler John Brenzk began his professional career in 1982 at the age of 18? In a wide world of sports, in 1983, he won his first world championship. The audience was mesmerized by the battle's ferocity and had their eyes glued to the never-ending conflict playing out in front of them. Devon's countenance stayed concentrated despite the increasing pressure as John's face distorted in rage. As the struggle grew more intense, it was evident that the participants' mental toughness and resilience were being put to the test. In addition to their physical strength, their spirits were tested as John and Devon found themselves in a tough battle of wills. The energy levels were dropping terribly, but both of them contained themselves. The audience kept their eyes glued to the exciting spectacle playing out in front of them as they watched with bated breath. The tension increased as time went on, and the result of the match hung in the balance. After what seemed like a lifetime, Devon's veins finally started to fill with resolve. His eyes burned with an unquenchable fire as he gathered all of his might and focused it on one last, decisive action. But destiny had its own plans. Devon, being Devon, once more secured his triumph in the last round by pinning John's arm to the table with an intense display of strength. As the realization set in, the arena became silent. Devon had triumphed, establishing himself as the brand new arm wrestling champion. Devon looked at John as he stood amid the commotion, and John returned the glance with a look that was equal parts bitterness and newfound respect. Both arm wrestlers realized at that precise instant that their conflict had moved beyond personal grudges. They had become stronger versions of themselves as a result of it, having learned the importance of good sportsmanship and the strength of humility. Devon won the match when he used one last surge of strength to smash John's arm into the table. The crowd exploded in raucous applause as they supported the new champion who had ousted John, the legendary arm wrestler who had never lost. John looked at Devon with piercing eyes as he was overcome with rage and hate. Audience cheered him as the best arm wrestler of all time and possibly the best in North America, the one who is regarded by many as the best arm wrestler of all time. With a 4-0 victory over John Brenzk, Devon Larratt won the right-hand heavyweight championship bout. For the majority of the match, Larratt exerted exceptional control over Brzenk's hand and wrist. Larratt was able to efficiently control the hand and wrist positioning in 3 of the 4 rounds, giving him a big edge. Brzenk was able to control Larratt's hand and wrist in the opening round, but Larratt showed off his tactical prowess by stopping Brzenk's momentum and making the required changes to recover control. Did you know that Brzenk has earned the nicknames the Giant Crusher, Superman, and the Perfect Storm throughout the years because of his propensity for pinning opponents twice his size? Larratt's 129.5 kilograms weight for the fight demonstrates his huge size and strength in the heavyweight division. After that day, maybe the antagonism between the two grew more intense. It's obvious that it might be hard for John to accept his loss of power in his title. He would surely be planning his retaliation against Devon and would come up stronger in the next match. He must be putting in more work than ever, perfecting his form and increasing his strength. It's crucial for them to grasp in their hearts that their rivalry may grow into an appreciation for one another's tenacity and grit whenever they want it. So this was the story of 2 legendary arm wrestlers. Who among them is your favorite and why? Do let us know in the comments below.